All right, we're just going to get right into it because we are low on time.
We are low on time.
Jumping right into it. This is a hot air production. It's Ringside Review.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Oh, Brother Allen.
Yes,
I
Broken.
knew you'd come.
Broken Mike. It's so good to see you, my friend.
Everybody, did you enjoy Raw tonight, Seth?
I actually did enjoy Raw tonight. What about you, Broken Mike? Did you enjoy Raw tonight?
It was all right.
It was all right.
It was all right.
It could have been better.
It could have been worse.
Oh, God, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Well, at the very beginning of it, it was kind of getting there. So, you know.
Yeah, it took two matches took up half the show tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's... Sorry, I'm just trying to share this with groups right now.
The same here. Okay, well, I'll start off on Raw if you'd like me to. While you're figuring that out, we can get the Raw over with.
I guess we'll go ahead and do the Raw review first.
Okay.
I feel like Scooby-Doo every time we...
Raw, right, roar. That's right, Scooby. No trademark, please. We're sorry.
Please never do that again.
I'll never do that again. My apologies. Raw's War. Okay, for today, Raw's War was in L.A. tonight. Open segment was Kurt Angle bringing out the crowd, telling them, hey, we're going to have a tag team championships. The belt's going to be on the line. It's got the Shield members, Seth and Dean, versus the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus for the final time.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so they've gone as far as to put the Bar on their trunks.
Mm-hmm.
They have matching trunks now.
Yes.
That have the Bar on them.
Yes.
But the announcers still announce them as Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yes.
What is it because the WWE doesn't own the Bar trademark? What's going on there?
I have no idea because it shows on the Titantron, it says the Bar. So it's clearly they can show it. Otherwise, it'd be all, blurred out, digitally blurred out.
Who's the announcer for Raw? It's not Lillian, is it?
No,
Is
Coco.
Lillian Garcia still with the company?
No, not anymore. No, it's Coco.
Coco? Are you sure you don't mean JoJo?
JoJo, Coco,
Go ahead.
Any of those. I don't know. I don't keep up with the refs. I mean, I'm with the refs. I do keep up with the refs, but not with the announcers. Dime a dozen. Let's see. Then Jason Jordan is now interrupting Kurt Angle. He promo waiting. He's wanting Roman Reigns. He wants a title shot. He keeps telling, I accept the open challenge, to Roman Reigns. I want my IC title shot, Dad. I think you can do it since you are my father. So Jason Jordan's going on this type of route when it comes to his character now. He's going to be the spoiled little brat, well, you know who my daddy is type of person. And it's really not good. I really don't like the character at all. I mean, he's got all the talent. He's got all the technique. He's got everything. He can do it.
Well, they're pretty much designing him to be hated.
To be hated. Oh, yeah. But let's see. Of course, Roman Reigns now interrupts and walks down to the ring and pretty much puts Jason Jordan in his place, saying, men are talking. Why don't you sit down over there, boy? Let us talk. I want to go up against Samoa Joe.
He didn't call him boy, did he?
Yeah, he did.
No, he did.
Son.
Go ahead.
Okay, call him son. Like men are talking, and he goes, who are you? He goes, who am I? I'm the IC champ. I did this. I've done this. Oh, yeah, you're the number one guy that everything was given to you. And he goes, given to me? You know how, pretty much Roman Reigns goes on a rant saying, these people either love me or they hate me. I've busted my ass to get where I am. And then, of course, Samoa Joe comes out, and Samoa Joe says, Roman, first off, I accept. You got 5 seconds, though, to reclaim what you said, so I don't go in there and choke you out again. Then, of course, Jason Jordan interrupts. Excuse me, we were talking. I was here first. And Joe was like, son, you don't want none of this. Yes.
It's just the way you're describing this is ridiculous.
And that's because that's how it happened.
And then that guy, it's like you're describing it like if I missed a day of school and you're telling me the way these two kids got into a fight. And you're just,
this is exactly what it was. Come on. Samoa Joe is great with his promos.
Seth.
You got, I'm sorry.
Points here.
You've got Jason Jordan and you've got Roman Reigns. Not good talkers, pretty much. Enough said. Well, anyway, Kurt Angle starts the match between Roman Reigns and Jason Jordan because Jason Jordan came from behind and gave him a suplex. Caught him off guard. So now Roman Reigns is angry.
Ignore the fact you said came from behind.
Thank you. Now you lost my train of thought.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you. The one thing leads to another. They start, the
One
match
thing
goes on. One
leads
thing
to
leads to another, as I always
another,
say. Yeah, my quote, one thing leads to another. They have a match. It goes on for 37 minutes. It's a pretty good match. Roman Reigns wins with a spear. Then Samoa Joe goes in there. Keto clutch on him, chokes him out. Then Jason Jordan grabs him and does like an angle slam on him, on Samoa Joe. And then for all the work that he's done for Roman Reigns, then comes from behind him and Superman punches him. Jason Jordan knocks him out. So you had all that going on. After that, video package of last night. Let's see, last Monday when Sasha Banks got jumped by Absolution, led by Paige. Then we have Paige versus Sasha Banks with Alexa Bliss, special guest commentator. Alexa Bliss.
People were complaining about her hardcore on Twitter.
I bet they were.
They were, what?
Nothing. Sorry. Keep going.
What's that even mean?
I don't know.
They were just saying how terrible she was.
Who? Which one?
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. After that, Paige wins. This match goes on for 30 minutes. So we've already got, and it's already like almost an hour and a half of the program, of Raw already on TV, and we've only had 2 matches: a Roman Reigns match, and then we had a women's match, which ain't so bad, but there's no title involved or anything, so I could really care less. Then right after that, we cut to an Enzo and his Zoe Train backstage segment. It's like at WWE, are you angry at us, the fans, now that you've given us this now? I guess they just wanted to get that over with. For the, I guess it was the other part of the competition. It was a fatal 4-way cruiserweight competition. Whoever wins is the other #1 contender to go against
What?
Rich Evans. What'd I say, Rich Evans? Sorry, I'm just really tired right now. I've had a really bad day today. You want to help me out with this, Mike? Did you watch Raw by any chance?
Some of it. What are you talking about? I'm trying to do the.
Well, I'm
trying to copy the tweets I had loaded. There were a lot more tweets. I hadn't anticipated that I had recorded this many tweets for the tweet spot later in the show.
Oh, okay. Well,
So what was the next segment?
It was a 4 corners match.
Who cares?
Sorry.
No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
It's the cruiserweights. No one cares.
No
Go
one
on to the
cares.
next
Okay.
segment.
After that, Elias makes a comment about Kurt Angle's bastard child, so he wants to have an opponent who's worthy of him. And we go back to Elias.
Braun came out.
And Braun destroyed him. Yeah. And then Kane shows up.
Cut a promo.
Cut a promo, and then that was it. They're going to have a match, main event next week. It'll be Kane versus Braun Strowman. Probably some type of stipulation. I'd say probably a cage match or no DQ, type match.
No Dairy Queen?
No Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Then we have Asuka versus Alicia Fox squash match. Asuka wins. Absolution shows up. Snooze fest. They destroy Alicia Fox. And then we go on to the next. We've got Finn Balor versus Bo Dallas. Finn Balor goes over, wins. And then, of course, the best part of the night is not Bray Wyatt, of course. He's haven't had a good night in a long time. But Matt Hardy has awoken. He is now awoken Matt Hardy. He is...
See, I'm mad I missed this because...
Oh, it was so good. This was the best part of the program tonight.
Yeah.
It was only 2 minutes.
It was just all video, right?
Yeah, it was all video. Bray Wyatt was doing his promo, like on the Titantron, and then it kept getting interrupted as in deleted. And then they would show woken Matt Hardy.
Sure that's what they were going for, but...
Yeah. And then it back to him, back to Bray Wyatt, back to Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy. So it's like, finally, we're having this. I've been wanting to see this program for a while between these two.
It was a nice little promo. It was, the laughing at the end was really funny.
It was great.
It was bonkers. It was pretty cool.
It was totally bonkers. Yeah. Then after that, we have the main event with Seth and Dean versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the Tag Team Championship. This was a
good match. I saw most of this.
They always have a good match. These four. We've always said it on every.
I'm a little sick. I'm sorry. There's like a fly or something in the studio tonight.
It's very repetitive. It's very redundant. Yes, I know.
Yeah,
they just keep.
They've faced each other 70 times now. It's time.
Yes, it's time to move on.
It's time for another tag team to step up.
Well, hopefully,
on Raw.
KO and Sami Zayn go, to Raw because that's what I doubt it. But I mean, it'd be nice,
KO was, he was just no.
No, you just say no.
He was on Raw. He was featured on Raw so much last year. This is a nice change in being on SmackDown.
Okay, that's good. That's cool. No, I will not disagree with you on that. Let's see. After that, let's see. Then Seth and Dean win by disqualification because Sheamus goes a little bit overboard on attacking them and not letting them get up. Kurt Angle doesn't like it, so he comes down to the ring and pretty much says, let's make it a no DQ match. So now it's a no DQ match. Samoa Joe comes in to distract everyone. Then Roman Reigns goes after Samoa Joe, follows him out of the ring, and then a surprise brogue kick to Dean Ambrose. And Sheamus picks up Cesaro and puts him on Dean Ambrose for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and the Bar wins. Still your WWE Tag Champions, and that's your Raw.
Yeah, the highlight definitely was Matt Hardy.
Absolutely.
Here's a question that kind of gets into one of my topics I wanted to talk about today is, do I have any images of Matt Hardy? I don't know if I do. Just in my personal collection, I don't think I have any set up ready to go. I have a question for you, Seth.
Yes.
Aside from the promos, how is this Matt Hardy different than the one that came back at WrestleMania this year? Because he's been yelling delete for months now. I'm just wondering what's so special now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think it has to be legal issues. That's what I think.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just the character.
Well, they finally...
fly over
yeah,
there.
that's over here. What I think... Splendid. Delightful.
Yeah, delightful. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes. I think the creator, the writers.
See, the thing is, if it were up to me, I would have had him just act like regular Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Or like a normal person, and not yell delete, and and just be V1 Matt Hardy. But instead, they had him, he was basically doing his
shtick. He was doing
gimmick.
Yeah, his gimmick
From TNA. It's just that.
But that's what he did that. Yeah, he was. The fans, the WWE universe wanted that, and he wanted to keep going with it. And then they really couldn't go the whole program with the whole concept of broken Matt Hardy. So.
Oh, where's my title? Damn it! I have to get my title.
He was late, folks.
We were very late.
We were very late.
I had a very sloppy bowel movement, to be honest with you. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes,
the bowel movement.
The reason why they cannot use, but they're calling him Woken instead of Broken Matt Hardy, is not because they can't. It's because the WWE doesn't own Broken, but they can own Woken. So they can make money off of Woken, and if he leaves again, he can't use Woken.
He can't use, but he still has his gimmick. Doesn't he?
Dumb WWE
yeah.
things.
In other words, it wasn't something Vince didn't create, as always. If he didn't create it, he doesn't care about it.
It's like when they changed, Moxley's name to Dean Ambrose. It's because they didn't own, John Moxley or whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't own Tyler Black. They can own Seth Rollins, so they could put his, names on merchandise and sell toys and still get the lion's share.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the reason he's Woken instead of Broken. That's your fun fact for the day. So, another thing. So, do you have anything else on Woken Matt Hardy other than you're very excited, as I'm sure.
Oh, very.
Everyone out there.
Everyone is. We finally get to see this.
Can I just say something?
Say something.
I will admit this. I think I've admitted this. I'm pretty sure I've admitted this on the show. I was not on board with Broken Matt Hardy when he first started doing this in TNA. I thought it was just this dumb, silly gimmick. Everything with the drones and, just the bad acting. And when stuff is overly produced, Lucha Underground. When things are overly produced, it makes wrestling look even more fake. And I just hate that. And like the final deletion and all that. And then there was like around the time of the final deletion where I started seeing fair weather fans get into it, and people that, friends of mine that didn't like wrestling at all,
but they liked this.
They loved the final deletion.
Yes.
And I was thinking, okay, there's something to this. And then I started getting to, and it was around the time where Brother Nero started getting into it too. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool now.
Yeah. But this was all.
I was really late getting into.
Even though they said it was a TNA gimmick. No, this was all Matt Hardy. This was all him. He had total control.
That's why they were getting kind of flack from the roster of TNA for not letting him use it when it was his creation.
It was his creation. He was like, sorry, no, this is mine. So.
Yeah. So we finally get the rivalry we've all been waiting for. Matt versus Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about that.
Same here. And this rivalry, you do you agree? I think you would agree with me on this. This can last for a while.
It can, but I'm a little bummed out we never got to see Sister Abigail. Like brain addressed.
Hold that. We might now, since we've got woken Matt Hardy.
Maybe.
We might able to. It didn't work out with with the demon. Okay, we understand. But here, I say we give it a chance.
Okay, before I go grab my title, because I have to grab my title.
Okay.
We're going to say hello to a very special guest. We have, well, let me just say, finally, The Rock has come to Ringside Review. The Rock, the people's champ. Oh, Seth, watch out. He's dressed to, oh, hold on. There's a giant, oh my God, a giant hand. We have our guests stay in a lounge where giants wander around.
Yes, it's our world.
So
it's wonderful.
It's very scary. Rock is dressed to compete tonight, so Seth, I'd be very cautious because.
Hey man, my days are over as Kid Cal. No more.
He's looking at you.
Well, I'm looking at him.
Rock, do you have anything to say while I get my title?
Yeah, you could tell that jabroni over there who was walking up behind me and everything to sit back his lazy ass down again. And what took you forever, huh? The people was here before you were. Oh, that's right. Just walk away. Don't even say anything. Oh, wow. Nice belt. Where'd you get it at? Kmart?
Mr. Johnson, I am so sorry, sir. I am so sorry. We had everything set up. We were just waiting on it.
I'm actually a little afraid of Dwayne Johnson.
I am too, man.
I've critiqued his movies really harshly. So the title's where it belongs. Very proud of them. Not putting it on the line until the Rumble.
Oh, so what's the matter? You think that The Rock can't even take it away from you? Huh? Speak up.
The camera's on you, Seth.
Oh, man.
We've given it away.
We've given it away.
It's not really The Rock. It's an action figure, guys.
Oh, man.
That's all right. That was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted, yeah.
Hey, Seth. Yes,
sir.
Do you know anything that's going on? I haven't looked into this. Hold on a second. I haven't done any research about this because it's something that didn't really interest me. You know what's going on with this whole John Cena being sued by Ford?
Apparently, he was supposed to keep a certain model automobile that was done by them. For a certain amount of time, and he decided to give it away.
Right. He sold it, right?
He sold it, and now they're suing him for
like
a buttload of money. Yeah,
I think it's $500,000.
$500,000. So it's like, who cares?
I know John Cena's like probably making more money than anybody else in wrestling.
Yes,
I'd say even more than Brock Lesnar.
Oh, absolutely.
But still, $500,000 is $500,000, you know?
Yes.
It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. What did Cena comment about it?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't think he just would sell it without.
No, I would think I would think he would sell it for like maybe a charity or Make-A-Wish Foundation or something, you know, and take the money and give it to some type of local charity or something. He is, like the ultimate good guy. So. Hopefully he did it for the right reasons.
Yeah, another story today. R-Truth had Soldier, because
He's a soldier.
He's a soldier.
He is a
He
soldier.
had
I
shoulder
thought I told you.
surgery, and he should be returning to ring. Did you know? Fun fact: they claim, and I don't know if this is right. Yeah, it's got to be right. He hasn't been in action since August.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? I haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Isn't
It was
that
two
sad?
matches in
You
it
know?
because it was him and
Let me just
Gold
say,
Dust.
R-Truth, great on the mic. Great on the mic. His little Jimmy.
Yeah.
stuff
Oh,
was
I
great.
love little Jimmy. God bless little Jimmy.
And his whole being afraid of spiders.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said he had arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia, fear of spiders, and they're like, no, that's when you get off the ladder. That's what I said.
There's a spider on one of those ladders.
That's right.
That was great. And then him just getting things wrong. That was hilarious. That was great. And then his in-ring work is just fantastic.
It always is.
It's just a shame they could never really figure out something for him.
He would have been a good
Yeah.
IC champion.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying long term like the Miz is, but I'm saying transition
Great. I
champ.
don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of R-Truth.
I am too. Or at least had the
Yeah.
tag team titles won last time.
Yeah. Other things going on. Did you hear about Kevin Owens' wife's Instagram account getting hacked? Did you hear about this?
Yes, actually, we talked about this right off the air after last night's episode.
They took.
Last week's episode.
That wasn't last week. I think it just happened today.
No, but what
I
happened
don't
was
know what you're talking about.
no last week's episode.
Oh, we were just talking about his wife.
Just talking about how beautiful she is.
Yeah.
Got you, Mr. Miyagi. 1, you 0. Sorry,
So yeah, we were talking. We weren't talking. So earlier today,
we don't talk to each other outside the show.
somebody hacked into her account. Apparently,
Mhm.
removed all pictures of Kevin from her account, and then put up one of those memes that says, I should have. It said something along those lines of, "Don't worry, it's not your fault. I should have known better." Like one of those cryptic "I've just broken up with someone"
Wow.
things that people put up.
Oh, that is so messed up.
And then Kevin Owens just was. You could tell he
was kind of angry, perturbed.
He was livid. And he was like, you just can't trust people on the internet.
No.
All this, and he was going to go ahead and he was going to delete his Instagram account altogether. So,
Kevin Owens looks like he can do some real damage, not just as a wrestler, but like as a just as a person.
Like at a buffet.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm allowed to make that joke. No, hopefully everything's working out.
I hope it is.
I don't know.
He's an awesome guy.
I don't know what's going
He's an
on
awesome
there,
guy. He's a
but,
great husband. He's an awesome wrestler, and he's a cool dad. I mean, he's a good guy.
Have you seen the music video with Ric Flair that just came out?
Yes, I have.
The Latino rapper?
Yes. And just Ric Flair just wooing in the background.
What's going on there?
It's great. It's selling. It's making money.
Like
It's putting money back in Flair's pocket.
Here's the thing. Ric Flair's not on the track. Unless I only listened to about half of the song because that's all I could stomach. But like you can see him yelling "woo," but you can't hear him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's he doing? He's just hanging out. It reminds me, what it reminds me? It reminds me of you remember the Weird Al video, White and Nerdy, and like Donny Osmond's just hanging out.
Yeah.
That's what kind of reminds me of.
Well, what I think it is that woo is a trademark to WWE, and probably the artist.
He was using that in TNA.
Yeah, but now is what I'm saying. So that's probably why you don't hear woo in the on the audio track.
Trademark woo.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
We'll have our fans look that up.
look that up or something, please. Please do.
Wait, we don't have any fans. Damn it.
Well, there's you and there's me, and then there's the People's Champion.
After 32 years, Jim Johnston, the composer for
That's
WWF
right.
and WWE for years, was recently
Released.
released, let go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were upset with this. Here's the thing. He came up with some of the greatest themes, the most recognizable themes. Stone Cold Steve Austin. He co-wrote Sexy Boy, Shawn Michaels.
He did Mankind.
That's not one of the most memorable. The Rock.
Well, The Rock. Well, of course, The Rock.
Undertaker's. a D-Generation X, the list goes on. But those were all like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I can't really fault, and I'm going to be so unpopular for this, but that's nothing new for me. I can't blame them for releasing him because it's the guys down in NXT that have been making all the great songs. The Bobby Roodes, the Finn Balor, the
Shinsuke, yeah.
AJ Styles. And what's Jim Johnston been doing? It's just you got to think of his work. It's all 20 years ago and beyond, where he was really strong. And then of course,
kind of went down.
He's also the same guy who did "You're Gonna Pay," the Undertaker.
Oh God, when he was the biker taker,
the Booger Red taker.
Oh yeah, Big Evil when he was Big Evil.
Always kicking assholes' ass.
Oh God.
I'm gonna have to play that during the tweet spot now.
You done it now. You gone and made a big mistake.
So and then Kung Fu Naki.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
That's just terrible and racist.
Yeah. So
yeah. Don't worry.
But he's still a legend.
He is. Don't worry. TNA will ask.
He'll probably still go. I don't know. He's definitely. They got to put him in the Hall of Fame, wouldn't you think?
I would do it. I'd put him in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think a musician's in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be.
He deserves to be. Yeah. But if not, hey, TNA will pick him up. Impact, and then he'll do it take it from there.
I'm sure he can just retire now.
Oh yeah, be a record, be a producer, be a music producer.
So, good stuff, Jim Johnson. Here's something I have kind of an issue with.
Okay.
Seth.
Yes.
Do you know the next WWE pay-per-view?
Night of Champions.
Clash of Champions.
Clash of Champions. Okay, Clash of Champions. That's what it is.
They no longer have Night of Champions.
That's right. It's Clash of Champions. Yes.
Seth, do you know what the main event of Clash of Champions is?
Isn't it AJ Styles against Jinder Mahal?
You are correct.
Okay, yeah.
Seth.
Yes.
Do you want to see this match again?
No.
I don't know anybody wants to see this match again.
He's not going to win the belt. I know there's a lot of Jinder Mahal fans out there. I know there's a lot of, and you would really like to see that. And it would make sense for him when he goes to India and has his match with Triple H.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the king versus a king versus a king. And he's got the belt. It would make sense. But the thing is,
even if he did, I just don't want to see this match.
It's just boring now. The gimmick's over. We get it.
Question: who would you put up against Styles instead of Mahal?
It has to be. They have to stay on SmackDown, right? It's not somebody from.
It's on somebody on the SmackDown roster.
Well, we have. I would say.
Can we just eliminate
Shinsuke Nakamura?
Okay, eliminate Nakamura. We got to save that.
Bobby.
That's
Bobby Roode.
That's their big money match.
Yeah.
Is Nakamura.
I say Bobby Roode.
He's still a face.
But they've
it's
met.
Gotta be a heel. It's got to be a heel. And then there's Ziggler, but they've already had that.
No,
match.
it's Ziggler. He's like the gatekeeper for NXT wrestlers.
They could do Cena, but they've already done Cena.
Yeah, but you said it has to be a heel.
I think maybe Corbin,
Ooh.
U.S. champ versus world champ in the Clash of Champions. Come on,
there you go.
Clash of Champions.
Bing, make it happen.
That would actually make more sense.
It'd be a good match,
and it would be more of a fun match to watch.
Yeah.
I was thinking also possibly
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn,
or even Styles versus Owens.
Yeah, that would do good.
Versus Zayn.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. Zayn versus Styles with Owens
in the corner. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we've got those are three we've already thought of.
We've already thought of
Corbin
there.
Would be the best one because it would actually be literally a Clash of Champions.
Yes.
Then there's Zayn and Owen, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And then who else could you?
Rusev.
Okay, yeah, Rusev would be.
Rusev
good.
has nothing to do, and he's like such an A-lister, but they just put him in these mediocre B stories, C stories.
Mojo Rawley.
Ooh.
Because he just had that turn against Ryder.
Yeah, but they have to have a program with each other first before. And of course, Mojo will win it. He'll win it, of course, and he'll move on to be the new heel.
I still think that there's a good five. That's a good 5. Solid.
That's a good top 5 right there.
Instead of Mahal.
Mahal.
I'm just so sick of Mahal.
Yes.
Do you even plan on watching Clash of Champions? There's nothing to it that really appeals to me.
No, I'll be at work.
I think I might just skip Clash of Champions.
I'll still watch it on my phone and stuff, or if I'm off, if I'm doing something. But I'll watch the Corbin match. Who's Corbin going against?
He is in a program now with Roode. I think Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode.
I think they just
No, it's a
started the
triple
program.
threat.
Yeah, and Ty Dillinger.
And Ty Dillinger. That's what it is. Yeah.
Is it really?
I think it's a triple threat.
Because they just did. No, I think it's Ziggler.
Is it Ziggler?
I don't remember. Can't be Dillinger because they just did a triple threat with Dillinger for the U.S. title.
Listen, folks. We are trying to give SmackDown. I'm sorry. We are trying to give SmackDown its proper dues where it belongs. It can be an A show, but it's not memorable. All you know is 3 wrestlers on that show, and everybody knows what we're talking about. Who you're, AJ, Shinsuke, and Kevin Owens. That's it.
Hey, we got to talk about the big rumor that's been going around today.
All right, what's the big rumor?
WWE supposedly is trying to pitch an NXT show to the USA Network.
Yes.
And what would result if they did pick it up would be it would air on Wednesday nights, just like it does now on the network. Whether or not it's pre-taped, I don't know. But Raw, they'd lose that hour of Raw. So Raw would go back to 2 hours. Hallelujah.
Thank you, God.
And then it would be NXT on Wednesday nights. It sounds like a win-win, doesn't it?
It does.
Because that's the biggest problem in WWE right now is Raw's
That's
3
what
hours,
I want. That's what the fans want. That's what we all want to see.
I ultimately think that. I think that, forget about Roman Reigns, just being pushed to the moon. Nobody wants him.
Because we already know what's going to happen. He's going to win WrestleMania.
About having a Universal Champion who's not there most of the time and Brock Lesnar. Forget about all that. The real problem is that Raw is too damn long.
Yes.
It gets so tedious after a while. So that would be great. The negative side of that would be you would have NXT in prime time on a real network.
Yeah.
And to me, they're still in developmental, right? What would, if you can be seen Wednesday nights, what's the big deal about moving to Raw or SmackDown?
I guess it's because you could only watch NXT on the network, on the WWE network.
Right.
You have to get the app and you have to get the subscription.
But
the thing is, if it's going to be on US, it just helps out for if you put it on USA or whatever, whatever channel they're going to get within the future. Hopefully, they stay with USA networks. It brings out a bigger crowd, a bigger, broader the audience. It's like, oh, I've heard about these guys, but I don't have the network. I don't have internet, or I only have a certain amount, So these are the guys, and they can watch it.
But my point is it used to be the cool thing was, you take a guy like Finn Balor and be like, oh, I've only seen him bits and pieces of him.
Yeah.
On the network.
Yeah.
Now he's in prime time. Now he's on real television.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just put him on USA, it's like, oh, he just went from Wednesday nights to Monday nights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Not only that, NXT wrestlers get involved with Raw. Will there be feuds, like an NXT wrestler versus a Raw superstar?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think they may be just offering too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And how does the formula work? Is it first 2 hours, 7 to 9 is Raw, and then from 9 to 10?
I think ultimately getting rid of that third hour of Raw would just be worth it.
Just
no
do
matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to think USA. This would be USA. The network would have wrestling programming 3 nights in a row.
Remember they used to do that. It was 4 to 5 nights in a row.
No idea what you're talking about, Seth. But.
Oh, with USA when they used to have WWF Attitude Era.
Yeah, but it wasn't all on USA.
Trying to during the Attitude Era it was.
Not all, because Sunday Night Heat was on MTV.
It was also on USA before it went to MTV.
Eventually went to USA.
Yes.
But it was on
MTV.
And then the Superstars was
Saturday mornings
right.
on USA.
It eventually ended up on USA.
Where was it before?
I think it was before it was just syndicated.
Yeah, just like Shotgun Saturday.
Yeah. I remember watching Shotgun Saturday on like I was living in Dallas at the time. It was like on CBS or it was so weird to watch.
Oh yeah.
WWE
They would try to
television.
fight like the whole concept. At the beginning, it was like they were supposed to fight it like in nightclubs and stuff, and make it more dark, make it more adult.
Yeah, that was good time.
There was some crazy nights.
Gosh, if I could just go back and live those times over again.
Would you?
Well, what?
Would you?
What are you talking about?
Nothing, just joking.
I'm just saying all the things I would do different. All right, we're gonna do the tweet spot.
All right,
When we
tweet.
come back, we've got more for you. I gotta put my headphones on and make sure this actually plays. You can hear this. We really need a producer on this show. Oh well, no one's willing to stay up this late. So here we go. Here's the tweet spot, Seth.
All right, tweet it off. Let's hear it.
No chances, no more excuses, no lies. Your story's ending. Time to say your goodbyes. Yes, guys. It said they always finish last. Bad asses always kicking assholes' ass.
A monster among monsters is the slogan for the Republican Party. Oh,
You're
wow.
gonna pay. You're gonna pay. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Enough of that shenanigans.
None of that gibberish.
Hey, my
Here we-
hair's messed up now. Cool. Hey, we didn't even talk about Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh my God, that's right, Machine Gun
Kelly, our favorite musical recording artist, will be at Salute to the what is it? Tribute to the Troops.
Tribute to the troops. Salute to the troops.
Which is which I'm sure the
It's a yearly show they do around
the
Christmas
troops
for the
are excited.
yes
about.
for the USO
Poor-
for the
Could you
USO
imagine
shows.
if, like you actually like were in the army or whatever, and you're actually they're like your commanding officers like, well, I got you 2 tickets to see Tribute to the Troops. You can take your fiance with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're like a big
Take your bro, go have some
You're a
fun.
big mark, and you're like, oh, thank you so much. And then you get there, it's like Machine Gun Kelly's gonna perform. Then you'd be, wouldn't you just be a little heartbroken?
You see,
Yeah, it would
your
be
head, and you're
pretty
just
bad.
like- yeah.
So Seth, did you know? Did you know stuff happened in
This-
history
On this day,
on this day?
I see clearly. Okay, what's happening?
Stuff happened in history.
On this day.
39 years ago, Jerry Lawler defeated Don Fargo to win the AWA Mid-Southern Heavyweight title for the 4th time.
All
Seth,
right.
trivia question for you.
Yes.
How many times total did Jerry Lawler win the Mid-Southern heavyweight title?
4 times.
No, this was his 4th time. He'd go
Oh.
on to win it another 29 times.
Ding.
Yeah, he just won it a ton of times. 24 years ago today, the team of Kevin Sullivan and Taz, or Tasmaniac, as it was called back then, defeated the team of Tommy Dreamer and Shane Douglas for the ECW tag team titles when Douglas turned on Dreamer.
Wow.
17 years ago today, William Regal defeated Crash Holly to become the European champion. 17 years ago, also on that same episode of SmackDown, I think it was.
Had to be.
Vince McMahon's Kiss My Ass Club came to an end when he had to kiss Rikishi's ass. And he got a stink face for his trouble.
Oh, yeah.
It was a stipulation for a match, and he lost. 11 years ago today, Paul Heyman was let go by the WWE after the disastrous December to Dismember pay-per-view. I'm glad we weren't watching wrestling at that time.
That WW
For those of you
ECW.
For those of you who don't know, it was a period of time where we kind of stepped out of watching wrestling. The ruthless aggression era. I have very
no
little,
recollection of it. That's when JBL was champion.
JBL was champion. Eddie Guerrero and Benoit both died.
Bobby Lashley was
Lashley was on top.
He was on top.
It was pretty,
and what's his name? Umaga.
Yeah.
And John Cena.
Speaking of Umaga, it's been 8 years since we lost Umaga. Today was the 8th year anniversary of his death.
Bummer.
Randy Orton sent out kind of a nice tweet about how much he loved Umaga. And he goes, "You're never going to believe how funny of a guy he was." And he showed a picture. I don't know if you saw this on his Twitter. It was a picture of Umaga wearing a pair of Randy Orton's trunks. And they were all stretched out, but it was pretty funny.
That's awesome.
I love funny things like that they do at live shows. 6 years ago today, this is very interesting. Ring of Honor presented Northern Aggression, a pay-per-view featuring an 8-man tag team elimination match that went on for 1 hour and 20 minutes, which is believed to be the longest match in pro wrestling history. 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
There were a lot of big names in that.
Yes.
But 6 years ago today, the longest match in wrestling, at least in recorded history, took place. Very interesting. An hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and 20 minutes.
We
wow.
got some birthdays.
Birthdays!
Hey, it is Victor from the Ascensions. Birthday today.
Happy birthday, Victor.
As well as Miss Tessmacher from TNA. Who is a person.
That's right.
So, we talked about it earlier. Or we did the little promo.
Yeah.
Earlier, as you like to call it, the promo. We are now going to crown the greatest of all time. This is a segment we do every Monday night. We decide, me and Seth decide, because ultimately we are the ultimate decision makers.
Yes.
We decide what is the greatest of something of all time. Today we're going to be talking about surprise returns. I'm just going to list a few, and then I'm going to save the best ones. I feel it's the
top
best
5, top 3, and which ones are the best out of those.
Okay.
Gotcha.
The Big Boss Man is revealed as Vince McMahon's bodyguard in 1998. I don't remember if this was on Raw or...
It had to be on Raw.
Yeah. But do you remember that when they brought him back? He was dressed in all black and he was wearing a black mask.
He always wore the black. Yeah.
And then he revealed it was the Big Boss Man, and then it was like, okay,
Okay,
you're the Big Boss
yay.
Man.
Yay.
Why did you keep that a secret? That
Ray
was kinda
Trailer's
strange.
back. He's out of WCW. He's with it. Yes, he's with WWE.
I don't know if it was like a legal thing with WCW, or they just thought it would be like this great reveal that it was Big Boss Man the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I guess you had to think like Vince is like, hey, remember the Big Boss Man? Well, guess what? He's back. And he's my bodyguard.
It was great because Big Boss Man was in such great shape.
He was at that time.
That we didn't recognize him at all, and then he quickly went back to being
the Big Boss Man. Yeah. That's right. You're eating pepper.
Lawler returning to commentary. Remember Paul Heyman took over and then Vince fired him. This was right after, had to have been right after the Survivor Series where WWE won and beat WCW. And he kicked Heyman off of commentary and he put Lawler back on. Lawler, of course, left because of the whole business with his then girlfriend or wife. I think I don't know, Miss Kitty.
Miss Kitty, yeah.
That whole business, and she got fired, and he said, "I'm gonna go with my woman," and then they broke up. And he's like, "I can come back now."
Can I come back now?
That was a great return. I remember that. Just the fans going crazy.
Oh, everybody went, yeah.
And he got back on commentary. And it's funny because Paul Heyman wasn't bad on commentary.
No, he was great.
Whatsoever. He's a great talker. He's always been a great talker.
Yeah. He was probably the best in the business.
But just to have Lawler back, it was like, oh, the good old days. It was interesting because it was like we had suffered through months and months of the invasion angle.
Yeah, and it wasn't
just
even
the story that didn't work.
Terrible.
And it just went. I remember like the last couple of months of the invasion angle before Survivor Series, like between SummerSlam, Lisa needs braces, and Survivor Series, it was kind of like this. Why are they fighting? It made no sense.
And the invasion story, like you said, it didn't for WCW. It didn't even have their top. It didn't have their top guys like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Macho Man, Hogan. It was all led by Stone Cold and Booker T and all the other mid-carders at that time.
It was really
There was no Sting, no Flair.
Now we're getting to the good ones.
Okay.
Ric Flair returns to the WWE in 2002. He is the Consortium, or 2001, excuse me. I'm the Consortium. I remember he kept saying the word Consortium when Shane and Stephanie sold their shares of WWE. Ric Flair supposedly bought them. And him and Vince were partners, 50-50.
50-50, we're partners.
That was oh my God, I remember that was so cool. I remember the signs in the crowd.
Woo.
The long woo.
Oh, this is Flair. This is Flair country, Horseman country. Oh yeah.
It was great. It was great to see Ric Flair back. It was great to see him in that role as opposing Vince.
Yeah.
And it was.
And this was the first time of him coming back after WCW was bought. Yeah.
So that was. I love that return. When The Undertaker came back at Judgment Day 2000 as the American Badass.
Ooh, that was so good.
When he pulled up on that motorcycle.
We watched that pay-per-view. All of us. Oh,
man, I remember just going nuts.
We all did.
The crowd was going nuts. And he looked so cool, and he came back in that leather trench coat, and he was just
long hair, glasses.
He just killed X-Pac.
Yeah.
And he went through DX, and it was like, what was great about that is that was the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
Between our guest today and Triple H. What did you think of that match? Well, I'm not even going to try. Sorry, Rock.
Rock.
It was electrifying.
Jeez. I tell you what happened. Two things happened. Me beating that ass, and second, trying to go after Triple H, but no, Undertaker had to show up and show his little big red nose when he's doing the Undertaker stuff, and guess what?
So,
I won. There you go.
This was, we already had sat through months of Rock versus Triple H.
So I know.
I was so bored with it at that point, and then they said,
wasn't Shawn Michaels special guest referee?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
And he had those short shorts. Why did he have those short shorts?
I think it's the same pay-per-view where Stephanie McMahon was going backstage, going through talking, and then Animal's face, from the LOD shows up and goes, oh, shuts the door real quickly.
No, you're blending memories again.
Okay, man, I hate getting old.
That wasn't Stephanie.
Dang it.
I believe it was Sonny interviewing Vader.
Oh, that's right.
And Hawks just poked his head out and saw that they were filming him. The greatest moments in
history.
Because Vader was already messing up his promo.
Yeah.
And then that happened. It was just a whole
it was great.
But yeah, that was a great moment because it was such a boring match to me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Undertaker comes back and it's like, oh, this is all worth it.
And while he's doing it, they're playing American Badass in the background. Like he's got he's kicking ass with a soundtrack like it's a movie. It was really good.
It was great. John Cena returns at the Royal Rumble 2008. It was such a cool moment because nobody really expected him, and it was in Madison Square Garden, and he's sort of standing there in the entry, and he's got his hands.
Yeah, number 30, and he's right there, and I'm like, okay, that's nice. Flip channels.
That was awesome. And then Triple H is like, I can't believe it. And that was such a great, and the crowd was just popping for Cena so much. It was a big moment.
Yeah, it made me sick.
You weren't even watching. Shut up.
I know.
In my opinion,
Yes.
and this is what I'm going to put my vote for, the greatest surprise return, all right? Not return, surprise return. Because you got to keep in mind, surprise return, you eliminate such great returns as Triple H at the Royal Rumble 2002.
Mm-hmm.
When he came back from tearing his quad, or both quads, I think, something like that. And then, went to go on to face Jericho, whatever. Bigger than the NWO coming to WWE because that was announced.
Yeah.
Bigger than Kurt Angle coming back to the WWE because that was announced. I'm talking surprise. Bigger than Batista coming. I'm talking about surprise. Like nobody knew this was going to happen. There's a couple more I forgot before I mentioned this.
Well,
one.
I've got one that's in my head. It's the bet. Well, I hope it's the same as there's number one.
Well, there's a couple that I forgot to mention. First, one that happened earlier this year with the Hardys.
Yes.
At WrestleMania. That was a great return.
That was an excellent
Didn't expect that.
Didn't either.
That was an awesome moment. The other one is Jake the Snake Roberts coming back on that old school Raw.
Oh, yeah.
When, nobody really knew his condition. I think this was before the DVD came out. The movie came out. So, and he came back and he looked great and he looked like he was in good health. He came back with the snake and.
Yeah, put it on Dean. I remember that one. Yeah,
that was a great moment because you didn't expect that at all. So that was awesome. But go ahead. I'm curious. What do you think?
Surprising that I did not know was going to happen is when Vince McMahon announced the new general manager for Raw, and he comes up and, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff shows up.
That was a surprise. Well,
to me,
I don't know if that's not a return.
That was a surprise return. No one knew that
because he never was in Raw. He was never in WWE.
But he is in wrestling. Return.
Okay.
Return in wrestling. I mean, come on, Vince, and the one guy that he wanted to bankrupt, take everything, because he took all of his talent. Like, okay, I won. Now you work for me. How good? I mean, that was just great. That's mine. Is Eric Bischoff coming back?
It was a shock.
Mm-hmm.
But I disagree.
Which one is yours?
I think 2011, when they're announcing who's going to be the guest host of WrestleMania that year, and all the lights go off in the arena one by one, and there were heavy rumors that day that it was going to be Justin Bieber, and WWE weren't denying these rumors, and then all of a sudden you hear, if you smell, just that crowd just went nuts.
They were
like
electrified.
A solid 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Because it was the first time in like 5 years he had showed up. And just they went nuts. And then he just got on the mic. And I remember Raw usually goes off our time about 10 minutes after the 10 o'clock hour Central Time. Raw didn't go off the air till like 10:40 that night.
Yeah, they just kept going.
The Rock talk, and then he talked smack about John Cena. And then he's talking smack about Justin Bieber but just the fact that it was The Rock and he was back, and just that was a complete surprise to me. That's the biggest surprise return in wrestling history.
That's a really good one. Another good one is when Undertaker came. Well, like you said, Undertaker came back as biker, but it was I think it was what was it 11-11-11, and they started playing Ain't No Grave, with Johnny Cash, and he opens the door and it's like the old school Undertaker's back and. That was a really good comeback, too. I like that one, surprise comeback.
I like when Jericho came back. I think it was 2012, where he didn't say anything. That was kind of a cool surprise.
Yeah, it was really cool.
When he debuted on Raw with the countdown.
Oh, that was so good.
If we're just talking wrestling and not going back to WWE.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
WCW, when before they parried it, I can't say the word. When NWO did it.
Drunk to the show.
Yeah, I know. When the Four Horsemen were introducing each other, and I almost forgot. Ric Flair, come out here, and then Ric Flair shows up, and he's, going off on Eric Bischoff. That's another good one.
No one remembers that.
You don't remember that. Stop saying you're nobody.
Did your vote any? Do you still think it's Bischoff?
I still say it's Bischoff.
See, I'm saying it's Rock.
No, that's a good thing. No, I totally. That's good.
That's the biggest.
To me, it's Eric Bischoff coming back.
Oh, I think we're at a.
We can do that. That's good. We can always never agree.
It can't be a tie.
How come?
It has to be one.
Oh, what? There can be only one?
Look,
that's a whole other show.
The Rock's in the house right now. Okay, it's embarrassing that we not pick The Rock. He's here, you know.
Well, if it makes you two feel better, I'll pick The Rock.
There you go. No, I'm serious. I think that was the biggest. It was a nice surprise.
It was a really good surprise.
Crowd
It was an
went
awesome
nuts.
surprise. Yes.
But just the pure shock factor of Eric Bischoff on Raw on WWE television was. I don't know. You know what? We're going to put this one off a little bit. We're not going to jump into a decision of what was the greatest return. See, because technically, I don't consider that a return. Because, you know, that was a debut. It was like AJ Styles at the Rumble a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a return.
I just say it was a return in wrestling. Now, you said greatest returns in the wrestling business. Wrestling. And if you would have said great returns in WWE.
But he was never in WWE, so he couldn't return.
That was not your thing.
WWE.
Your thing was saying best returns of all time. Now, if you said best returns in WWE, yes, The Rock.
See, no, it's The Rock. The Rock wins because
for you guys,
Bischoff
makes you feel better.
That was a debut. You know, yeah, I think, you know, who knows what? I don't even know what was going on with Bischoff during the time where WCW closed down and he came back to Raw. I don't know if he went to another promotion and tried to do something there. You know,
he tried to buy it. He tried to buy it himself, and he just couldn't do it. Ran out of funds and money because he was supposed to go in with Nash and Hogan and all of them to get it. It didn't work out.
Well, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching Ringside Review tonight.
Absolutely. Sorry about tonight. I know it sounded kind of feels kind of off and everything, but we were just arriving late. We do apologize to our fans.
I had really sloppy bowel movements. I can go into detail if you would.
Oh, that's okay, Mike. That's okay.
You know, speaking of TNA, I've been meaning to share this story.
Oh God.
Did John or me ever tell you about? I was about to go off the air, but let's just talk a little bit.
Let's talk a little bit.
We don't got anywhere to go except to sleep. Did we ever tell you the story about how we bought that Best of TNA DVD at like a used video store? Okay, so this was a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This might have been like 2011, something like that. I like had like a bunch of credit at like games and things or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And I was just going through different DVDs trying to pick out which ones, you know, I'd like. And I was picking out a bunch of WWE ones because this was before the network.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, I was picking out a bunch of DVDs, trying to catch up on the stuff I'd missed in the Ruthless Aggression era. And I picked out all the DVDs. I think I'd gone through because I had so much credit. I'd like gone through all the WWE DVDs they had that I hadn't seen. And one of the DVDs was the Best of TNA. And I was like, you know, I know TNA sucks. By the way, this was 6 years ago and TNA sucked. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. Nothing.
You know what I always say? It's not hard to run a wrestling program.
You say that, not me. I bet it is.
I know you got to compete with egos, but if you just have
but you also got to do promotions.
Showrunner,
you got a booking.
Who knows what he's doing.
You got talent. You've got trainers, scheduling.
It's neither here nor
there.
I don't think it's that complicated. I just think people the people with all the money or the power are just kind of just don't know what they're doing, and that's the big problem. Anyway. So I just thought, you know, it's the best of TNA. There's bound to be some good stuff on it. It's the best. Because I think at the time they were like 10 years old or something like that.
Well, then you should have AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle.
And I was like, oh, we're going to see. And so it was the only time I've ever experienced this where I went up to the counter and like the clerk, salesperson, whatever you call it, was trying to talk me out of buying something. Because the guy was like, are you sure you want to buy this?
Oh, he must have been a wrestling. He was a wrestling fan.
We were like, yeah. He goes, really? Are you sure you want to buy the Best of TNA? We're like, yeah. Just sell it to us already. You know.
Shut up and take my money. Yeah.
And shut up and take my store credit.
Yeah.
So we got it, and then we took it home, and it was just so awful.
He was right.
We kept waiting for like something good. We're like, surely this is like, I don't know, like 8 years worth of.
Who was
programming?
Who was on the roster?
And well, it's just 2002 to like 2010 or whatever.
Okay.
You know, or whatever it was, and like we were just sitting there waiting for something to get. And what was funny was they had who was that 9/11 country singer? Like, we'll put a foot in your ass.
Oh, Toby Keith.
Toby Keith. He like did a performance on TNA, and they just played the whole performance on the best of. Keep in mind, this is the best of TNA wrestling.
Wow.
And Toby Keith, it was like a
courtesy of
song.
it's courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Yeah.
4-minute song is taking up. They're taking up 4 minutes worth of space on their best of wrestling DVD.
By putting Toby Keith's single on there.
It was very telling. You know, I think one of the things they showed was this really awful bit where I can't remember whose funeral it was, but it was Jeff Jarrett was throwing a funeral for somebody. Remember Abyss was there. I can't remember whose funeral it was, but it was like a mock funeral.
Yeah.
And it was just so bad. It wasn't funny. It wasn't, you know.
You could hear people in the audience going.
And it was just really dumb.
Dumb.
So anyway, so that was a funny. I thought, you know, now that I've told the story, it's not that funny. But just the fact that the guy behind the counter was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want this?" That still is hilarious to me.